think Enzo Maresca deserves some accolade. Enzo Maresca actually deserves some accolade. Chelsea team generally deserve accolade for this performance against Arsenal. 10-man Chelsea hold Arsenal to a 1-1 draw. We didn't just hold Arsenal, we played the game against Arsenal. My God, that performance by the team was top notch. I mean, I enjoyed what I saw. The game was just flowing seamlessly, even without Caicedo. After 38 minutes of the game, when Caicedo was sent off for a straight red card due to a reckless tackle on Merino. The referee was spot on. Very good decision. Moses Caicedo sent off. Then, that was where my heart beat. I thought probably Chelsea at this point will fall back to their old self. But Enzo Maresca, I remember after a couple of matches when Chelsea were frequently seeing red in 2-3 matches, Enzo Maresca actually came out publicly, admitted that he has actually learned his mistake. He would have done better anytime Chelsea are down to 10 men. And that's exactly what played out today. It was indeed a tactical masterclass by Enzo Maresca. I love what I saw today. Chelsea never looked like a team that went down to 10 men. It's normal. At some point in time, you will think Chelsea, are sitting deep, trying to absorb the pressure. It's normal. It's football. It can happen. It can happen. But I just love what I saw. Chelsea held Arsenal after Moses Caicedo red card. Held Arsenal to a goalless first half draw. To a goalless first half. Coming into the second half of the game, Chelsea began the second half of that game as if we're still 11-11 in the pitch. It amazed me what I saw. I mean, this is Chelsea. This is what we represent. This is our identity. The football we play tonight against Arsenal, I mean, it gladdens my heart. It gladdens my heart. Even though a win would have just been something so wonderful. But then it's football. Red card is part of the game. But like I just said most time in my video, Chelsea should learn to be disciplined. That tackle on Merino from Moses Caicedo, was needless. It was uncalled for. Let's just call it what it is. Even though Moses Caicedo is our injury room, they should have known that tackle he actually went for was uncalled for because we were not in any danger of sort. There was no goal threat from Arsenal from any angle. But it is what it is. Moses Caicedo being just who he is, a machine in the midfield, trying to always pick everything around, actually got a red card and was sent off. But then, the Chelsea spirit in Stamford Bridge came alive. The Chelsea spirit that we know for a very long time, the spirit we saw in the likes of John Terry was what I saw today in Reece James. The spirit we saw in the likes of Gary Cahill, the spirit I saw in the heart of Antonio Rudiger was what I saw today in Chelsea's players. Most especially the team captain, talking about Reece James. Reece James exhibits everything a leader should exhibit in the field of play. And of all, his performance tonight was top-notch. Chelsea in the second half got an early corner. Threatened Arsenal so fast in the second half of that encounter. Got an early corner, quickly taken by Enzo Fernandez, and was flicked back by Trevor Chalobah. Chelsea got up 1-0. 10-man Chelsea took the lead against Arsenal 1-0 at Stamford Bridge. Arsenal began begging, looking for equalizer. Arsenal was, the way Chelsea played Arsenal tonight, if we were 11 in the field, believe me, we would have beaten Arsenal blue-black. If Chelsea were 11 in the field, if we were not down to 10 men, Chelsea would have beaten Arsenal blue-black. But I know their fans will still come out and say, whatever. But it's football. It's football. Red card is part of the game. I said it earlier. But if you look at the game from start to finish, you don't have excuse than just to give Chelsea the flowers which they deserve. Chelsea was just everywhere. And the composure, the concentration level of the players after going down to 10 men increased even up to 200%. Wesley Fofana, Trevor Chalobah, Reece James, Malo Gusto, Marc Cucurella, despite being on a yellow card in the first half, around 12 minutes in the game, Marc Cucurella maintained that discipline at that left back and continued the game all through the 90th minute without getting the second yellow. That was class. That was a professional display by Marc Cucurella. Chelsea gave me joy tonight. Even though 3 points would have been, but then the draw, the 1-1 draw against Arsenal in Stamford Bridge was just a message to take home. The draw as well is a statement for us. Because if this Arsenal, who is being tagged as having the best defense, anyway, I can't dispute that. Because what we saw today in Arsenal, the centre-back pairing is not their preferred centre-back. William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes absent. It was Mosquera and Nkapi that actually paired at the back of at the edge of Arsenal defense line. It was good. They had a decent performance. But what I'm still saying, if Chelsea were not down to 10 men, Chelsea would have defeated Arsenal. There is no two ways about that. But it's football. It's football. The red card has counted, and the game ended up 1-1. So, looking at how Chelsea approached the game, like I said, I must give kudos to Enzo Maresca. The selection Enzo Maresca put up for this game was top-notch. And by the way, in my match preview, I was spot on. I got 11/11 when it comes to my predicted 11 that will take on Arsenal. And that was just the selection Enzo Maresca put up for this particular encounter. In goal was Robert Sanchez. The fullback, Malogusto, was at the right back, and Marc Cucurella at the left back. The centre-back pairing was Wesley Fofana and Trevor Chalobah. The midfield pivot was Moses Caicedo and Reece James. The three attacking midfield trio. Pedro Neto started from the left wing. Gustavo Williams started from the right. And Enzo Fernandez started as the attacking midfielder, the central attacking midfielder. And up front was Joao Pedro. Good to see. Wonderful selection. And if you watch the first half of that particular game very well, it was a very tight contest. And the reason is not far-fetched. It's simply because Arsenal have actually read the game. They now know that the attack line of Chelsea are very dangerous, and as such, Arsenal will not be able to begin their attack from the rear the way they normally play. The presence of Gustavo Williams and Pedro Neto and up front Joao Pedro actually kept Arsenal defense line at bay. They were just where they were, and Chelsea were just touching the ball all around. If you take a look at the statistics of the game, Chelsea was everywhere. The first half of the game, the statistics gone in favor of Chelsea. The second half of the game, the same thing. We had 4 shots on target. Arsenal had 3. 10 men Chelsea put up a wonderful display in Stamford Bridge against 11 men Arsenal. They want to argue, it's Stamford Bridge, is it not your own? Come on, this is football. The same Arsenal fans have been telling us they don't have home. All they know is they go to any stadium to play their football and they get all 3 points. That is just what they are interested in. But it was good to see. It was a beautiful game of football. End-to-end football, I must say. But Chelsea actually made me proud. The performance of Chelsea tonight was top-notch. I mean, the discipline level of the player after Moses Caicedo was sent off with a red card was top-notch. I just love what I see. Chelsea gave me joy. Chelsea gave me joy. The performance was excellent. The concentration level of the defense line was excellent. But then, one player actually deserves to be praised. And who is that player? I will start with the goalkeeper. Robert Sanchez, today was excellent. Brilliant saves from all corners. Brilliant saves was what Robert Sanchez was just putting. Look at even the late minute strike. The late minute strike. Look at that save. Before Victor Gyökeres jumped into late tackle that almost injured Robert Sanchez. But I love the spirit of Gyökeres. He actually knew that he did something wrong because it was his right to actually go for the tackle because it was punched initially by Robert Sanchez. But Robert Sanchez actually got to the ball first before him. So it became a late tackle on the goalkeeper. But then, good game, I must actually say. Robert Sanchez today was excellent. Classic. No mistake. No mistake. The only thing I just saw was the Arsenal equalizing goal. When Bukayo Saka was able to bring that pull out, Robert Sanchez couldn't actually get that calculation right in order to push that away. And Merino had a power. It was just a soft header because it was a close range. And when Merino actually got that, the level up, 1-1. Reece James, oh my God. Leader, captain, leader, legend. That was just the performance of Reece James tonight. Reece James was a class to watch tonight. So the debate, whether he plays as a right back or he played as a midfielder, I don't like hearing that when comparing Reece James to Timber. Come on, you disrespect Reece James for nothing. You disrespect Reece James if you bring such comparison up because Reece James tonight was excellent. This is the same Rhys James that years ago about a year ago we can't say this of Rhys James because of injury. But Chelsea managed the crisis because the injury crisis for Rhys James, because they know what this guy can bring to our game. And that was just what we saw tonight. Rhys James came out with his heart. Blue blood flows in his vein, and that was what Rhys James represented tonight. I love what I saw. The 1-1 scoreline cannot even deter me. I came out after watching the game very satisfied because I know that the performance Chelsea actually put up tonight was excellent. 10-man Chelsea held Arsenal to a 1-1 draw. In fact, Arsenal was begging for the draw. They begged for the draw because if you watch the last minute of the game, before the 4-minute added time, Chelsea pressed on to even get the winning goal, but it wasn't forthcoming. I just love what I saw. It was an excellent game. Chelsea actually gave me joy. It shows that yes, whatever we have been building, whatever we have been working on is actually beginning to show forth. Because currently, if you look at the squad, the age, the young players Chelsea have actually assembled and put together, they are actually giving me joy. The result is actually beginning to show forth. That was just what we saw today. But in all, generally, the team had a wonderful performance. It was actually good to see. And to Arsenal, I must say it was a good game. They actually came with for a purpose. And the purpose also was just to get 3 points. It was a very good contest. But I must say this. The Eberechi Eze that was the hero a week ago against their North London rival, talking about Tottenham Hotspur, was actually nowhere in the field because Rhys James actually made him lost. Eberechi Eze was not in that game. Kudos to Chelsea. I love what I saw today. Keep up the spirit going, guys. I really enjoyed what you guys played today. So it's definitely good to see that we didn't lose the game. We're down to 10 men, but yet we actually ended up getting a point from that particular game. I was scared initially, I must say, but the manager this time was never panicked. Even when Chelsea went down to 10 men, Enzo Maresca never panicked. He kept his motion, kept his composure, and he actually did the right substitute when he needed to do one. He took off Gustavo William, brought on Garnacho. The game was just flowing seamlessly. He took off João Pedro, brought in Liam Delap. It was just what we wanted to see. And as such, that actually maintained the balance of the game without putting any pressure on the defense line or the midfielders. Because in the midfield, we were just left with only Rhys James and Enzo Fernandez. And believe me, those two guys did an excellent job. Rhys James was just everywhere. Enzo Fernandez, man, he was a workaholic today. I must say, Pedro Neto giving trouble to Arsenal defense line of Mosquera and Nkapi. It was an excellent game of football tonight at Stamford Bridge. Even though it ended Chelsea 1, Arsenal 1. But I love what I saw because it's a statement that Chelsea have actually made. This is the same Arsenal. They are lucky to have gotten a point out of Stamford Bridge. They are very lucky. Arsenal should thank their stars. They should, because they were lucky. If you take a look at the statistics said everything. Check the statistic on the screen. It said everything. Shot attempts at goal, shot on target. Look at it. Look at it on the screen. Look at it on the screen. Everything was in favor of Chelsea. Chelsea were classic tonight. 10-man Chelsea held Arsenal at Stamford Bridge to a 1-1 draw. What do you make of the game tonight, and who was your star performer in tonight's encounter? Drop your thoughts below. Thank you for watching. Bye.